All right. So let me extend this a little bit here. Um, I'm planning to take like some more longs towards 80. I don't think we just drop dead here. A lot of people were shorting like 80k, 81, but that was preemptive in my opinion. After he, like I was, I understood the short here for equal highs. Um, but like it wasn't super high conviction for me, and once we got over that, it was sort of more lined towards. I don't want to touch shorts here. I'd rather punt one like starting here at the macro 618. Um, and that would also like sort of be in line with what happened last time, which actually it's not macro 618, but it's the 618 pulled from the 98 high, and that's exactly kind of what happened last time. Is we kind of like rejected above like a previous point of control of the previous range that we had in like Q4 2024, and that was also the golden pocket from this high here at 107. So I'm thinking to do something similar where like my inval would be probably like nine. Wow, this would be a swing trade, right? But something like this, and obviously, I would want like a sharp projection. So I'd probably enter something like this. But then again, like this risk to reward is kind of not that great. I would honestly put it there above the previous H4 breakdown, I'd say would be the best thing to do. Something like that. Yeah. So this one here also like we've just tapped in now Q1 2025 val. From let me zoom out a bit here. The Valorella from here, we tapped it. So like last year's summer, it was sitting around like 81, and we've yet to tap this point of control here. So I'm not really interested in taking any positions here, but what I would be looking at is probably actually a sweep of let me check. I need to go on MMT and all right. We don't have any poor lows, but we do have, I think, if these lows get swept, I think that would be nice for a long here, for a long scalp. I've got a bunch of altcoin subs as well, so I'll send those in here. One sec. And something like this, I would want a sweep of both those lows, because I think we could like easily make a range here. So maybe like a scalp short here, but like I'm not super interested. I would honestly prefer the long setup here, which would be a sweep of these lows. So I'd probably go a decently wider stop, targeting 83. It's risky because I would wait for the sweep first, like M30 sweep would be like the safest play for me. But yeah, like around 83 is where I'll plan to TP and like head short. I'll send some old setups because I've like gone through a big list that I used to have of altcoins, and I've already like sent some limits for some, but essentially if we've got to consider a scenario where like we're gonna have some more upside, and we're going to get some rotation to altcoins. So Filecoin is one that I should have bidded a little bit earlier. It looks like it's kind of breaking out now, but I'm still honestly confident that, like, if we, the only thing is we've already kind of, I would still be interested if we do come down here. It's less likely now, and the 786 is like not valid. But if we do get a tab of it again, then of like 1945 down here, then I would take that long still, if I'm honest. Let me extend this to the right. So like a sweep of these equal lows here is where I still plan to basically long here. My targets would be like these equal highs here. So this is one of like the cleanest alt setups, but like we've just tapped range highs again, so it's a bit annoying that we didn't get filled before that. But if we get like a rotation down here on Filecoin is where I would definitely like to bid again. I think this is just in a range for now, so it could break up here and maybe sweep that high again. So we'll see. I don't think I would want to short, but depending on structure, if we get up there and it looks bearish, then that's definitely a scenario I'll look at. But this is still like one of the altcoins I was looking at for a nice setup. The other one was, let me see, Grass. So this was AI. This also doesn't seem like we're gonna get filled on this either. But again, like I didn't see any reason to long down here, right? Around this, like 33.5 to 33, like it was an FEG imbalance there. But I don't trade like gaps anymore like this. I usually look at like supply and demand, or like order blocks, whatever you want to call it, order blocks and breaker blocks. But we couldn't quite get that retrace. It was a little bit of a greedy entry, I guess, but I saw these lows here that hadn't been tapped in a while. And if we consider this like a range here, then I still would potentially say we could get this set up. Of course, like we have quite a lot of stacked up lows here, which I still think could get ran. So that would be like my ideas for us to get a move down to take out them lows here. I still think we get that. So it'd be a nice range play. I don't know if I would probably TP before, like around 2R. But yeah, if you guys want me to look at any alts, let me know. I'll just run through the list of like the most interesting setups that I saw. Pump. Oh, Pump doesn't look so good. Let me see. Yeah, I was looking at. I missed a short yesterday. It was pretty. It was a clean short of this order block here, but like, honestly, you could short right now if I'm being honest. With stops here, I was planning to take like this short up here. But I don't think we'll get that anymore. Like a retest or a sweep of that high here. We'll see. Stops I would probably put, if we do get the upper setup, which I don't think happens now, but if we do, then yeah, I think your TP would be like the same on both anyways. So Pump is looking very bearish. It's like one of the alts that has like the least momentum. If we look at Bitcoin, it's been making high highs, and this has been just kind of sideways chop. So I think if Bitcoin pulls back, we'll definitely have a pretty big correction on Pump. It's not even, and Solana is weak, and this is even weaker. So you can imagine what would happen if Bitcoin were to even just pull back a little bit. Doge, okay. Doge. Give me guys a couple if you guys want. I'll take a look as well. Jufy, what's up, man? Alright. Let me see. Doge. I remember I tried this. Yeah, okay. This one was... Didn't quite get the pullback. I was honestly hoping for like a little sweep here of this little like lows that we had here, stacked to lows, but I guess we didn't get that. This is honestly one where like Doge doesn't really pull back that often, or as deep as I'd like it to. Not as much as like other alts. So we got demand here, which you could bid if we come back down. But honestly, we've already seen a decent reaction here. It's already pumped 5% from the zone, so I'd rather wait for like a small retrace, and then it can be another higher low. And then if we get like some some long triggers, I'd rather take that, because here I'm not really seeing any long triggers. We had this pullback yesterday on Monday, but of course there was no long trigger here for me on the M30 or on the, I doubt on the 5 minute either. Or maybe, let's see, let me check. There was actually, holy shit. I might need to backtest like lower time frames on Doge, because this was pretty clean. We had like a sweep here, and we had a close above the high. So that's like a reversal signal most of the time. Tau, yes, that one is interesting as well. I'll take a look at it. So honestly, I'll quickly wrap up Doge here. Like, I don't think swing long in here, this just doesn't make sense. Risk to reward perspective, I would much rather enter in a pullback. So I don't have a clean long setup just yet, but at the same time I don't want to short Doge. Tau. So yeah, I remember this dump here from Tau was from like FUD, right? Like someone left the team or something like that. So honestly, personally, I'm surprised it's even bounced this much. 618, I would honestly pull it. I want to pull it from the origin of this dump. So 341, let's see where it lines up. Okay, so we're officially in like premium. So let me just make this. Yeah. So we're officially in premium. We haven't gotten the golden pocket yet, but that doesn't mean you still can't short. Let me look at the price section. Okay. Yeah, I'm not gonna lie. Like, I think it could have one more leg up. Like, I don't know, if you were to look at this and say like, say this was a channel, right? It's essentially, it is making lower lows and higher lows, but like every time we've like they've been brought up, right? So I think maybe like one more scam pump into here, and then that's when we look for the short trigger around 300, right? Psychological number as well. So like round numbers is where people usually like to sell. So for anyone who brought this before, we'll probably take a profit at like 300-ish. So I'm personally gonna look for a short around here. If like my triggers would be obviously like high low structure, and then once a low break structure. So it could be the H4 or 30 minute, 1 hour, whatever you want. Once we get something like this, that's when I'll probably pull the trigger. And I will just short something like this. Like you could leave a limit as well for 300, but where would you put your stops is the question. Technically your invalidation would be like above 340, but that's pretty wide, at least for me. it's kind of wide, man. So it's up to you. You could just blindly short there, but I would rather wait for structure first. And then, so say we get this like structure like this, grind up, and then we get like a low breaker structure. I would then like look to target. I'd obviously TP like around 2R, or around this low here. But my TP would probably be like VAL of this range, so yeah, I'd say probably like 238-ish. I'd say that would be 4 TP, right? But obviously I'll be trimming on the way down. I'll post this setup in the chat. Obviously, like, this isn't a limit trade. This is more so like conditional, you know. But yeah, Tau here, I'm not a big fan of shorting because this looks like a bull flag. So like it could break out, right? Upwards. This is sort of what's been happening on like Bitcoin, but like there are so many people shorting Bitcoin. It's ridiculous. So I'm not really a fan of shorting just yet. But some odds look interesting to short, for sure. Another weak one would be, which one was it? I think it was Asta. Yeah, Asta was showing, it's definitely not as strong as Hype. But at the same time, like, we technically did break structure here on this move up. But this PA is weird, man. Like, it's barcode right now. But if we were to look for a setup, it would honestly be like trying to catch a long, but like from, I'll show you what I mean. Wait, let me remove this. Like catching like a sweep, like in the middle of it happening. So this one would be kind of risky here. So we have like 3 lows here that have not been swept, but maybe these 2 here. These you could argue are equal lows, at least on the daily time frame. So it's kind of paid off to like long this, even if it's for like not that much of a move. I actually like this. Hold on. I might make this official. I like this. So like 0.62. So like right under that low here. Stops would probably be under this low. I don't think it would tag there. Like if it sweeps this, the lowest I would see it go is like 60-80. So like what would this be? Back to the highs, like 2.7R, maybe like 3R if you extend it a bit. But that's not like a horrible setup, I don't think. That's pretty good. It's better than like getting long in here and then like getting stopped out because you put your stop loss here and that being like the bottom around here. I would rather like take the confident long. But yeah, like in theory you could also just long here with invalidation below there. But I'd feel more confident in this one because Asta's still just range bound. So until then, like we've not really gotten a breakout or break above just yet. It's really weird PA, but you just gotta like adapt to it. So yeah, let me know if you have any more alts. I'll quickly also look at which one was interesting. AVAX was the one that was interesting. AVAX was honestly looking like, yeah, I honestly should have pulled the trigger yesterday, but what was I looking at? Let me go back to Monday. Yeah, so I remember seeing this in the morning, but I mean, I remember thinking, well, AVAX looked decent at 9.3, and then it went to like 9.1, and I was like, okay, well, if I'm gonna long now, like I should probably look for an entry, but I didn't really get like a clean trigger. if we had like swept this low or something like that, then I probably would have longed. But unfortunately, like with this candle here, it was just, by the time it looked good, it had already broken like M30 structure to the upside. But for example, say we have a pullback to like, because we have like quite a lot of lows here, so maybe we fall down to here, and then I'll look for a long here, maybe a sweep here around these lows, 9.1, 9.12-ish. I'd look for a long here. Pretty clean invalidation. And of course, AVAX is still just trading in a range. So let me zoom out just a little bit. I'll pull the volume profile just from there. So it's not quite hit like VAH yet. So I still think this goes higher. Even it either goes up higher now, or it has like one more pullback and then it does the move. So something like this, like around here as well, I would like to long. And then if it goes below the 886, then it kind of looks a bit more cooked, if I'm honest. So yeah, I don't want to long just here. This is too much. It's gone up too much for me. So I'm just gonna have to set like alerts for a pullback. As far as like, let me check the NPOX. Okay. No, we don't really have any naked point of controls here, but yeah, let me see. I'll look at also Zach, this is the other one I wanted to look at. So this one, I mean, it's nearing my second short zone, because I wanted to try officially this one, but I didn't take that. But like it doesn't matter, right? Like it would have stopped out if I took it, because it kind of round tripped. I think this zone here would be pretty nice for a short, if I'm honest. But I think maybe like, yeah, see, it's already had a reaction from like the lower end, so I think the setup for me would be these are equal highs, if I'm not mistaken, yeah, because they're so close together. So I reckon someone's short right now with the stops above there, and I don't think they're safe. So I would rather enter where they're gonna get punished, like something like this, 451, right above those equal highs. Stops would be, I mean, I need to zoom out. I mean, God, stops would have to be pretty wide, because like technically, oh man, this one's tricky. Nah, to be honest, I would probably do like 507, but like if it closes at H4 above this candle, above this level here, sorry, I would probably look to cut. So yeah, I want this to be an SFP essentially, and if it hits a H4 close above, then I'm gonna get out of this. I may alert it, but the thing is, like, even if we get like a small reaction here, just for a pullback, we could go break even early. I think that could be a nice play, because this is like very strong. But I do think eventually it will give the pullback. I mean, the RR isn't that great, but this is based off like, the stop loss is kind of based on like, we could have like a scan bump here, but it would just be like a H4 SFP, something like that. So I'd probably go break even like once we tap like this MPOC here, which we haven't yet. This naked point of control. My 4 TP would probably be somewhere this previous low here. So like 3R swing trade, $300. It's not horrible. I think there are people shorting here and it's a bit preemptive, even though we are at like the golden pocket, but it's kind of sitting above it, isn't it? So there was an initial reaction here at the golden pocket, but it wasn't as strong as I bet people would want, like I wanted it. And I also do think Bitcoin has one more leg up, so this could maybe align that with that as well. I think that would be really clean. So yeah, I'll pop this in the chat as well. I might call this one. This one looks pretty clean. Obviously, I'd be aggressive with like stops break even because we're not really in an environment right now where like shorts like where like shorts are getting punished, right? So, and that's across all markets, not like stocks as well. It's actually pretty good. Like surprisingly, it's risk assets are doing actually pretty well amidst like everything that's happening. So yeah. Any other chart requests? Let me know. I covered the main ones like Grass, Pump, Tau, Zec. Oh, Hyperliquid. I forgot to do that. Shit. I'll do Hyperliquid as well. Because, let me see. Man, my PC is very laggy. Give me 1 second, guys. It's this, because I'm recording right now. It's this software. It fucking takes the piss. OBS. Yeah, see, like these short setups would have been doing well off like the first tap of the zones, but like they wouldn't have they would have all been stopped to either break even or just stopped out, right? So this is definitely not like bearish to me on Hyperliquid. It was looking pretty bearish, but it's no longer looking okay. If my long area would be coming back down to like here, so I don't have a setup for it, but like if I do see like a whatever, like it could be a H4 SFP, it could be a breaker structure like lower time frame, somewhere around here. That's where I would probably look to get long. This is like also like anchored VWAP and like supply zone down here, right? Sorry, demand zone. Also naked point of control here. And if I turn on the EMA, there's probably, yeah, like EMA 200 here, like it's lining up here. Well, it hasn't catched up yet, but that's the 4 hour 200. 1 hour is whereas, well, it's a lot higher, but I wouldn't probably long there unless it was like a clean scalp setup. But yeah, somewhere down here I'm looking for hype for a long. I just don't have a setup for it currently, but yeah. But yeah.